Hey everybody, welcome to this video lesson for an arrangement I've done of Rhiannon Giddens' Julie. This is a clawhammer banjo tune, but I'm doing it here with 3-finger style or bluegrass style banjo. This is a super cool tune. I'll put a link to the video below. And it's a really good opportunity to learn how to take some more like old-timey sounding tune. This is obviously not an old-timey, like an old tune, but how to figure out how to do it in this style. So if you'd like to learn how to do your own arrangements and stuff like that, or you're a beginning banjo player, I highly recommend my beginner's banjo course or even my Melody of the Week program. I'll put links to those below. I'll put something up here, I think. Yeah, so we're going to get through this. We're going to talk a little bit, go line by line. If you want a copy of the tablature or anything like that, you're going to have to support me on Patreon, but there will be tabs in the video so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to play through it and then we'll talk about it. Here we go. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. I've seen down yonder that the soldiers are come. Julie, oh Julie, can't you see the devils are come to take you far from me? Nice. Okay. So, a couple things to mention. So she plays this on a really cool banjo that's actually tuned. It's open C. It's a fretless banjo. We obviously have frets here, and we're tuned to the key of G. She's tuned to like a double C tuning. We won't talk about that unless I do a video for this for clawhammer. If you really want to play it in the tuning in the key that she's playing in C, you would have to put the capo here up on the 5th fret. You could actually keep the 5th string the same if you want to do that. But I recommend G works well for me, so it sounds nicer in G on this banjo. So it's kind of a fun one to play like this. So I'm just going to mention a couple things. When I'm doing kind of more clawhammer style tunes or old-timey tunes, the main things I tend to do is 2-finger style and forward roll. They tend to work. And that's basically all I'm doing in this arrangement. So get used to these 2-finger rolls and the forward roll. If you're used to that, it'll help a lot with this. Check out my course if you don't know about that stuff. The other thing I'll say is this has some really interesting rhythms in it that are a bit awkward. So a lot of people have a hard time at first getting the rhythms of this. So if you're finding it a little tricky, don't worry about it. Stick through it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the form of this tune. So when she's singing, essentially the song is completely just the way we're playing it in G minor. And when you listen to her play, she just kind of plays Julie, oh Julie, won't you run? 'Cause I've seen down yonder that the soldiers have come. And that's really cool. I like that it's just this really solid pedal of one thing. I don't know if I would say I got bored, but I just kind of was throwing extra licks in there. So I just kind of treated it like I was playing G minor the whole time. And I mostly just use this little 2-finger lick where I'm going. And I'll do that a lot when I'm playing just in G minor and I want to play a G minor chord. I'll just be doing that lick. So I did that and I added a couple little licks in there as I wanted to. But essentially, I just recommend going with any sort of G minor vamp that you have. I like this one. Julie, oh Julie, won't you run? 'Cause I've seen down yonder that the soldiers have come. All right. This one, I have to cop something. This, can't you see? One of my students did that. My student Leslie did that, so I definitely was copying her in that moment. Okay. Anyways, let's just go line by line through the tablature here on this one, and we'll give it a go. So here's the first line. picking up into that next line here. So notice it's just every one of those circled notes so far we're getting with our thumb. This is kind of two fingers. We have this double stop in that third bar there, right? So that's also a common thing to be doing with two fingers. Okay, here we're going to go on to this next line where it gets a little more complicated. Let's pick it from this line. Next line. Now here's a forward roll. Two finger. Now this part's probably the hardest because we have this weird rhythm here where this comes in right here on this like the end of 4. So let me play just this whole second line again. Now notice when I'm playing in G minor, I should have mentioned this before, because we don't want this open B string, I'm just going to keep my first finger in and around here. And actually, a lot of times I'm holding that C note down here. So you'll see that that's there. And we play a lot of these 3rd fret notes. I get them pretty much every single time with my 3rd finger. So especially when I'm in this position, I'm almost always just first finger, 3rd finger, first finger, 3rd finger, except for when I want to get this A note on the 2nd fret. That's 2nd fret. Okay, so second line here again. Big slide to this F. Yeah, so you'll notice I'm just doing these 3rd fingers here, sliding up, sliding back down, sliding up to this position. This line is probably the toughest in terms of that, because this moving back up and down is a little bit crazy, but I definitely recommend when we go to this F the first time, just slide up with the 3rd finger, and when we get this, 1st and 3rd again, just these big slides. So starting with this next line, it's this little D and F shape here, back down. Right, and this is kind of cool, we're just repeating that melody with a little end there. So let me do this line here. Now, this line sounds really bizarre out of context, so I have to play the last note of the bar before. Last line, double stop. Nice, okay. So let me just go through this again slow. Those rhythms are a bit wonky. One thing I'm going to recommend that would really help you is make sure you can hum this. So if you can go through and you can go ba ba da da dum ba do da dum ba da dum ba di da dum ba di da dum ba ba do di da dum ba da da dum ba da da dum ba ba dum ba 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 da dum ba do da dum. If you can hum through that, sing, hum, like that's going to help you so much because those rhythms are just a little bit awkward. We don't tend, especially with the 2-finger style, we don't tend to play the rhythms in those places. So you need to make sure that you have the rhythms in your head so that you can get them in your fingers. All right, sometimes, especially if you're a beginner banjo player, banjo is so like finger orientated that it's really easy to kind of like let your fingers lead you where you want. But in this tune, the rhythms kind of come at such strange places that you really got to get it in your head. So listen to the tune, try to hum it. Bam, bam, ba da dum, bum, ba da da dum. Okay, that said, I'm just going to play through it here with the tab at a slow tempo. You can play along, listen to it a couple times, loop it. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hope everybody enjoys this tune as much as I did. Good luck with it. Till next time. Bye.